Spring is barely over, and the Giants have already left a clear message. This season is going to be different. A rookie simply destroyed the backfield, wide receivers running like rockets, and veterans showing hunger. The defense didn't just show up, it commanded respect. Yes, without pads, but with a lot of attitude. You blinked, and there was another explosive play happening in practice. The craziest thing, many of these highlights came from players who weren't even guaranteed to make the final roster. It's the kind of preseason that makes the fans excited about names that no one expected. And if you think it's too early to get excited, my friend, you haven't seen what we saw on the field. Hello, passionate New York Giants fans. Minicamp and OTAs have come to an end, and yes, you can smell the season in the air. And today we're going to talk about the players who shone this spring, those who arrived with everything and are already making noise. But before revealing everything, you already know, right? Leave your like, comment below. Who do you think will surprise everyone this year? Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell because the training is going to be on fire and you won't want to miss anything. Here's daily content with a blue and red heart beating strongly in each video. And if you, like me, are counting down the days until the first preseason game, then this is your home. Make some coffee, call your friends, and come with us because the countdown has begun. The Giants' spring season is officially over, with OTAs and minicamp wrapped up, and eyes now turn to camp in July. These are light training sessions, without full contact, but with a lot of 7 against 7, 11 against 11, and that initial thermometer of who is ready. And despite the lack of pads, it is possible to identify talent, posture, and above all, attitude. It was in this scenario that names began to stand out. Some expected, others completely off the radar. The QBs worked on their chemistry, the receivers sought chemistry, and the defense showed hunger from the first snap. The coaching staff watched everything closely, making a mental note of who deserves more space in training with pads. And the fans, they're already starting to dream, because when the right names appear early, hope is reborn with strength. We start with Abdul Carter, the rookie who has already caused havoc in the starting attack. He had 4 sacks in a single day. He beat the likes of Jermaine Illuminor, John Michael Schmitz, and even pressured the pocket against the blind side. Carter moves with explosion and reading, and what was just draft promise has become a red alert for QBs. Darius Slayton also shone. He became a reference in long throws and seems to be in tune with Russell Wilson. Even though he has been criticized in the past, Slayton has shown enough maturity and speed to take on the WR1 role, and the person who took advantage of the absences in the squad was Jalin Hyatt, who trained with the starters and gained morale. With repeated public praise from Russell Wilson, Hyatt is on track to be the breakout player of the season. The first big moment came with Abdul Carter collapsing the pocket 3 times in a row. The OL was lost. The second was a perfect deep pass from Wilson to Slayton, a TD that even drew gasps from reporters. Dane Belton, in turn, stole the show in the defensive plays. 4 interceptions and 1 returned for a TD. Belton isn't just fighting for space, he's sending a direct message. Put me on the field. Smith-Marsette also took advantage of the momentum and showed he can be useful as both a receiver and returner. And in the backfield, Dante Turbo Miller showed absurd speed and a dry cut that would scare linebackers. These moments were memorable because they show that even without a real blow, the intensity is there. And that changes everything. The Giants have struggled with a lack of QB pressure in recent seasons. Carter could change that. With Brian Burns, Thibodeau, and now Abdul Carter, the trio promises to be the terror of the offensive trenches. Slayton has never had a QB with Wilson's arm. Now, with well-designed deep routes, he can finally take off. Hyatt, in turn, needs to show that he's not just about speed, and he seems to be managing to evolve as a route runner. The defense, with Belton, Holland, and Newbin, can form a ball-hungry secondary, something that was lacking last year. Showed this in 2023, but now he seems more confident and with much more reading of the game. The spring served as a wake-up call. The Giants are building a roster with more depth and real impact options. 7. Final question, call to action. Now I want to know from you, fan, who will surprise us this season? Do you think Abdul Carter will steal the starting spot in the first few weeks? Will Slayton explode for 1,000 yards? Will Hyatt be Wilson's new darling? Does Dane Belton have a place in the starting lineup? And does Smith-Marsette secure a spot at returner? Comment below the name you believe will take the next step in 2025. Like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and follow everything with us. Because if spring was already hot, imagine when training camp starts. Come on, Giants. The Giants minicamp has barely begun, and an unknown name is already gaining attention in East Rutherford. He's undrafted, he didn't come with any hype, but he's catching the attention of veterans and coaches. His name, Dalon Camry, a true bolt from the blue who could earn a spot on the main roster. When an UDFA starts training with the starters, it's because something is up. Could we be looking at the next big surprise in the NFL? Hold on to this story because it's hot. Hello, New York fan. Welcome to another video here on the channel. Today's talk is serious and surprising. A UDFA is shining and could mess up the final list of receivers. Minicamp is over, but Camry's name continues to echo in the training center. But before we continue, you know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell because the season is coming. Comment below, who will be the big surprise on the Giants roster in 2025? Will Camry have a place in this group? Already full of talent? Let's talk about this story that has everything to thrill. The mandatory minicamp took place at the Giants training facility in New Jersey. All eyes were on QBs Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Jackson Dart. But the one who stole the show was a short receiver, standing at 6'3" and weighing less than 200 pounds, Dalon Camry. Coming from the University of Louisiana, the guy came in like he didn't want anything and exploded. At first, he was on the third offensive, balls from Winston. Within a few days, he was already getting snaps with the first team in 7-on-7 drills, something few UDFAs achieve so early, and that set off alarm bells in Brian Dabble. Development first practice. Camry catches 3 passes in a row from Winston, one of them for a touchdown on the drive to the field. The next day, Jackson Dart finds Camry on a long 25-yard pass, a TD in the vein, and a confident pose on the sideline. In the final practice, Russell Wilson throws a fade to the back of the end zone. Camry shows up, jumps, holds on tight. Another touchdown. At each level against each unit, he answered. Third team dominated. Second team excelled. First team produced. The press corps, Art Stapleton, Jordan Rannon, Connor Hughes, was all about him. With each practice that passed, Camry gained more reps and more respect. It's not just will, it's execution. He's producing with consistency and showing rare maturity for an UDFA. The first big